So, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabby. This is the Inkbunnie, and we have some catching up to do. So, I have missed an entire week of filming because I've been reading and got distracted. And then I finished a couple of books and just never got on the camera to tell you about them. So, we're going to go over those first, and then we're going to start what's been going on this week, which is Monday the 16th. If that isn't an indicator of how this week is going, that should tell you something. Okay, so let's rewind to last week. I finished 3 books. So the first book that I finished is called The Ideal Couple by Anna Willett, and that is actually an arc that was sent to me by Henry Poi PR and Tide Phoenix Coffee. It's my first novel from Anna Willett, even though it's the 4th novel in her series. I believe the series is called The Cold Case Mysteries. I'm very excited to find the original ones, like books 1 through 3, and read those. I gave this 4.5 carats. I read it digitally. It was 229 pages. I really liked it. While it wasn't like a heavy body count or anything, as the clues began to pile up on themselves and you started to parse through what was true and what wasn't, it had this kind of slow burn build up. And then once shit did hit the fan, there was literally no going back. I finished this book at 2 a.m. because I was like, there's 10 chapters left at midnight, and I couldn't leave it at 10 chapters, and I wound up finishing it. Here's some actual footage of me while I'm reading the last 10 chapters. I'll insert that here. Okay, so it's 1 a.m. It's 1:30. I am 4 chapters away from finishing The Ideal Couple by Anna Willett. Don't mind the noise in the background. I'm just listening to Lala Reads talk about horror novels. But 4 chapters left. It's just taken such a turn. And I don't know how we're about to wrap it up in 4 chapters. But everything had this slow burn mentality to it, and now it's coming to a head, and I'm I need to know. But yeah, it's amazing. Definitely go check it out. And although I received an arc, it actually was released to the public on the 3rd of October, so it's out for your enjoyment. Let's see. The next thing I read was The Secret of Danger Point, and that is a graphic novel. It's Surfer Girls #1 by Kim Dwinnell. It's book 118 for the year. And I really liked it. It's just a super adorable graphic novel about 2 best friends who love to go surfing, live in a seaside town, and they have this abandoned area called Danger Point, and apparently it's full of ghosts. And the only person that could see the ghosts was our main character, Samantha. And that's because she was chosen to do a task. And then the graphic novel goes into the task. I gave it 4 carats. It was super cute. 230 odd pages. I read it in half an hour. It was just a fun time. I have book 2, but I haven't finished it yet. And I'm sure I'll be doing that shortly. The next book that I read, which is 119 for the year, is called Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valenti. It was published in 2021. I read it in a single day. It's 2 hours long. It's an audiobook, and I got it from the library. I gave it 4.5 carats. So I'm going to read you what I wrote because this is a week and a half later. And often what I write down in response to finishing novels is generally the best version of my thought process. So, originally, it felt like a very simple story. A woman named Sophia has the most perfect, simple life. An incredibly gigantic house with a perfect, gigantic husband who is often gone, and a beautiful, albeit very rigid, HOA. She loves spending time in her home and in her community. She can go wherever she likes as long as she follows all the rules, such as never going into the basement, because it's dangerous for her. Then she begins to realize that there are other parts of her home that don't fit as well as they did before, and goes on a journey to find the truth. When I first read the original synopsis for this, I thought, oh, it's a woman who loves her husband and realizes that her husband is a serial killer. And while it is that, it's so much more. Like, it's hard to describe without giving away everything, but like, it is the best essentially short story I think I've ever read. If the ending had ended differently, I would have given it 5 carrots. As it is, it's got 4.5. I loved Sophia. I loved all of the characters. I loved the absolute like gut-wrenching spin that the story takes about the 50% mark, and it's everything. I would consider this a feminist horror. And not because what's happening isn't feminist, but because what's happening is a feminist's idea of horror. I don't know if that makes sense. Just read it. Just read it. Just listen to it. I got it from the library. It's 2 hours long. Super easy, super quick read. Gave it 4.5 carrots. Like, I loved it. I loved it. I think I finished it on Thursday. Friday was Friday the 13th, and I was spending all of my time reading There's No Way I'd Die First by Lisa Spring. So, those are all of the books that I needed to catch you up on that I have completed. Now we can get caught up on the books that I'm currently reading. So, me and the book girlies are currently at chapter 24, page 219 of There's No Way I'd Die First. This book has gotten so nuts. If this book doesn't end the way I want it to end, y'all, if this book conclusion lets me the fuck down, I'm gonna be so livid! I said that it was words. So I said in the arc that I read, The Ideal Couple, how it was like a slow burn and it built up. This, as an off-the-trails locomotive, this bitch is gonna crash. It's gonna burn. And when it hits that wall, if what I want done ain't done, I know something. Cause y'all, I'm addicted to the characters. I'm addicted to the plot. I want to know who the clown is. I want to know who gonna make it. I want to know why the clown is killing everybody. I need it! Y'all, the body count in this is insane. Like, I don't even know how we still got characters to have this much book left. I really don't understand. I'm going back through the roster like, did I miss somebody? I thought he was dead. I thought she was dead. Maybe they weren't dead. Maybe somebody else died. There ain't a lot of people left. We almost there. The girls finally agreed to just finish it because this is all that's left. So I plan on finishing this after I get off the camera with you guys. But yeah, y'all. All I got to say is y'all. I am also currently reading Some Shall Break by Ellie Marnie. And I am making heavy progress. I think the last time we talked, I was like 20 pages in. Now I'm 17% through the book. So I am making my way downtown, walking fast, paces fast, and I'm homebound. I am making heavy progress in this. The crew is back together, and I'm ready to meet and catch some serial killers. Like, it's the vibe. After I finish There's No Way I'd Die First, I plan on starting You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Barron. This is a book that I'm reading by myself, but I'm going to start this because originally I was supposed to start If We Were Villains by ML Rio with Bree, but we pushed it back to this weekend. So I'm hoping that 4 days is enough time to finish this. So that the only books that are left on the list is Midnight is the Witching Hour, Some Shall Break, and Curse of the Reaper. So that's the goal, because at this point, once the end of this week hits, I only have 1 more week to complete a week and a couple of days to complete my readathon. So, because not only did I finish 3 books last week, but none of them were on the fucking readathon list. Like, why do I do this to myself? I feel like every time I have a readathon, I do this to myself. I don't know why. So that's a thing. Oh, I was 50% through Hunt Me Darling by, I'll put it up here. I was 50% through until we hit Blood Play, and then I was even more mad at myself because I was looking through the trigger warnings, and I was like, God damn, that's a lot of trigger warnings. Not that I missed a trigger warning that made me DNF the book, and that it was the third trigger warning on the, like, bro, do you even read? Like, I'm so mad at myself, because that's 50% of a book. Like, so annoying. So it's not anything that the author did. It has nothing to do with the story. It was my own fault. She clearly told me what was going to happen, and I missed an important step. So, no one's fault but my own. So yeah, I was 50% through that. So that's mostly what I've been spending my time reading, and now I'm not reading that anymore. So that's what's been going on book-wise. So we're all caught up. It's Monday. I made it a little bit further. We stopped at chapter 19 on Friday, and then we decided to go to chapter 24 today, and that's where I am now, and we've decided that we're just going to finish the book. Hey, let's catch up. Today is Monday, the 30th of October. Tomorrow's the 31st. It's the last day of the Readathon, and I am practically done with all of my books. So the first thing that I need to talk about is If We Were Villains by Emilio. I just lost my place. This is a buddy book with Brianna, and we didn't start it until last week. So there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this before the month is out. So I'm going to take this off the list. I'm going to continue to read it through the next month, but it is off the Inkbunween list. Now, let's talk about the books that I finished, because I have 4 of them to go over with you, because I have just been utterly lazy. Like, I've been reading my ass off, but to come up here, set up my camera, film, like, I don't have my ears, I don't know where they are. The struggle has been real the last, like, couple of weeks. So let's talk about it. First, what I want to talk about is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Barron. I finished it. I gave it... Okay. So, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Barron. This is book 121 for the month. I gave it 4 carrots. It's 230 pages. And this is the wildest book that I've read in a while. Essentially, it's about a crew of teens that work at a terror simulation theme park in the middle of nowhere. And things take a turn when they realize that employees that they thought were just goofing off are actually dead. Very, very spooky. Very, very good. You are not ready for the twists, and you won't be ready for the end. I can promise you that. The next book I want to talk about is There's No Way I'd Die First by Lisa Springer. This was the Book Girlies pick of the month. We finished this on the 17th. Today is the 30th, so that shows you how long it's been since I talked about these. This felt like a warm hug for other Black girls into horror. When I talk about scary movies, like, I almost never get that connection with other Black girls, and it's because we don't see ourselves represented in that media. So this character is all about the representation of Black media in horror. So she runs like a film watch group where they talk about like Blaxploitation, they talk about Black horror, they talk about Black representation in horror. It's just so good. And essentially she wants to evolve her movie I want to say her watch movies, but that's not what they're called. Her watch parties into a podcast. So she has this big blowout. The guest list is secret. The activities is secret. Like, she drops the pen 40 minutes before the party is supposed to start. Kind of secret. And she hires a clown to play tag with them, hide and seek. But the clown is crazy, and people start dying. The body count in this is so wild. The only thing that I can akin it to is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. Like, I think we're introduced to 13 characters. I gave this 5 carrots. I absolutely loved it. And if you've read this, comment down below so we can chat about it, because I want more people to talk to about it, because I freaking loved it. Next thing that I want to talk about is Curse of the Reaper by Brian McCauley. I finished this on the 26th, so this was rather recent. This was like 4 days ago. I gave this 4.5 carats. While it wasn't the slasher, like, death-filled novel I was expecting, I still super enjoyed it. It felt like being in a horror film, but instead of bodies and blood, you were following the mental journey of the killer in an attempt to gain freedom. It was wild. While my main criticism of the book is that it's slow moving, it's necessary. You're not going to care about the characters and what happens to them throughout the novel if the novel moved any faster. So while it is annoying that it was a bit slower, it was well worth it. I gave this 4.5 carats. It was really, really good. In this, you follow a character named Howard. He is best known for playing the Reaper, which is the killer in a series of horror movies. He is feeling kind of low down and strung out, feeling like he needs to do something else with his life. When he goes in to do his like final signing, it turns out that not only is he going to be getting an award, but that he is being recasted. So essentially, his character that he created and played for 10 years will be replaced by a younger model who doesn't know anything about horror. And the story just kind of takes over from there. This was so good, y'all. This was so good. And I love that it's very like immersive. It's like half novel, half screenplay. But the screenplays are scripts from the movies, the fictional movies in the book. It was so good. It was so good. The latest book I finished is Some Shall Break by Ellie Marney, and I finished this today, so this is fall rush. I started reading this on the 4th, and then I just like read bit and bit throughout like reading my other books, and then I finally sat down to finish it yesterday. So it was yesterday and today that I like essentially ate the rest of the novel. This book is 384 pages. Why do I keep doing this to myself? The other book, Curse of the Reaper, 321 pages. Lisa Springer, 284 pages. Caitlin Bayron, 230 pages. Like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Suddenly a Murder, the first book of the month, 320 pages. Man, Fuck This House, 200 pages. The Ideal Couple, 229 pages. Like, why did I do this to myself? Why do these books have to be so goddamn long? Okay, so this is the sequel to None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney, and so many things happened in this book. I can't tell you a lot about it because a good portion of it will spoil it, but what you need to know is that the way that she connects the two novels together is so diabolical, you will be thinking about it for a long time after you complete this book. It continues the adventures of Emma and Travis as they are thrust back into the FBI's clutches due to a new serial killer that has a signature that is eerily familiar. And that's all I'm going to tell you because otherwise it will be spoilery. Gave it 5 carats. I was gasping, crying, sighing. Like the last 100 pages, I guarantee you are not ready for. And I feel like I say that often, but for this one, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. You're just not. Like, I promise you, you're not ready for the last 100 pages of this book. It was so good, y'all. The only thing that I have left about the Inkbunween Readathon is that I am 84% through Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. It was weird. It's weird. I don't know what I was expecting, but what I got wasn't it. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. And I'm almost done. I don't know where we're going. I don't know how we got here, and I don't know where we're going to end up. And that's the best that I can tell you about that novel right now. So only got like an hour and 45 minutes left because I'm listening to it on audio. I'll be done by the end of tomorrow. And that will end my Inkbunween. And since I've got you here, let's go ahead and go over the book haul that I bought today, because I went out with the bestie, Chanel, and we went to Barnes & Noble, and then we went to Red Lobster, and I've got some books to show you. So hang on. I got 6 books, and let's go over them. The first book I got was Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Shaw. Looks like this. It's a horror novel. A Heian-era mansion stands abandoned, its foundations resting on the bones of a bride and its walls packed with the remains of the girl sacrificed to keep her company, as the perfect venue for a group of thrill-seeking friends brought back together to celebrate a wedding. A night of food, drinks, and games quickly spirals into a nightmare as secrets get dragged out and relationships are tested. I'm excited. This is How We End Things by R.J. Jacobs. And I have another novel by R.J. Jacobs. I want to say it's called, Always the First to Die. I have a bookmark in that. Last time I remember reading anything about it was something about a hurricane. I don't know. But this is dark academia, and it's a thriller. And all I needed was the front. And it says, a high-stakes dark academia thriller full of twists and secrets. Sounds good to me. It's the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I've heard so much good things about this book, and I am determined to read it before the end of the year. So, got it. And I'm not going to read you all of it, but I'm going to read you what caught me. And it basically says the rules of Blackheath. Evelyn Hardcastle will be murdered at 11 p.m. There are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will only let you escape once you tell us the name of the killer. Understood? Then let's begin. I don't need anything else. There's a whole blurb. I don't need it. I'm ready. Let's go get her. Like, I didn't need anything else. I literally read that and it went directly into my basket. The next thing on my list is volume 5 of Lore Olympus. Then I got A Death at a Party by Amy Stewart. And it looks a little thick, but it's really tall and really like spaced out writing, so I'm not worried about it. But essentially this takes place in a day. A woman is trying to plan a party and people start dying. Don't really need any more than that. And then the last thing that I picked up is another Seshi Yokomizo novel, and it's called The Devil's Flute Murders. Yes, and if Yokomizo sounds familiar, they are the creator of the Kosuke Kindaichi detective. So Kosuke Kindaichi is Hajime Kindaichi's great-grandfather. Great-grandfather? Great-great-grandfather? They're related. So that is based on classic Japanese literature by this author. So this is another novel in that mystery series. I have the other 2 that have been translated. So when I saw that there was a new translation completed, I had to go get it. And it just says, when the family gather for a divination to shed light on their patriarch's demise, death visits the house once more, and the brilliant Kosuke Kindaichi is called in to investigate. Before he can get to the truth, he must uncover all of the Tsubaki's most disturbing secrets, while the gruesome murders continue. So this sounds like it has a high body count, and I am here for it. We've gotten all caught up on all of our books. You know everything that I've read so far. You know what I'm currently reading. And you've seen the book haul. Make sure that you subscribe so that you are always updated when I post. And I will see you guys soon, because I have to finish Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I don't know why I have been fucking up the title of that novel so badly, but I'm only an hour and 45 minutes from the end, so shouldn't be fucking it up too much longer. Bye! Hey, so I'm just popping in here. I know this looks weird. I'm filming it from my camera, my computer camera, because my camera is downstairs, my phone is downstairs, everything is downstairs. I have not been filming. I've been very, very bad about it. I am currently 56% into Some Shall Break by Ellie Marney. 2 days ago, I finished Curse of the Reaper by Brian McCauley. I really liked it. I think I gave it like 4.5 carats. I'll have more on that later. This has taken quite a turn. I don't know how, like, more it can go because, like, by chapter 2 there was a kidnapping, but now, like, this, what's going on right now, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Very, very stressed out. But this is going well. And there's only 3 books left. Some Shall Break by Ellie Marney, Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, and If We Were Villains by ML Rio. So, I am at chapter 5 in If We Were Villains. I'm co-reading that with It's Brianna, and we have the next time to read more chapters as Wednesday, which will be after October. So I'm going to take that off my book list because I didn't start it until way late, and I'm reading it with another person, so it's not like I can just skip ahead. So the only books that are left, Some Shall Break by Ellie Marney, which I just told you I'm 55% through. I plan on finishing that tonight or tomorrow. And then Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, and I think 47% through that. So we're at good standing to get these finished by Halloween night. So thought I would just hop in and update because I've been fucking terrible about that, and bring you news that I have another mini readathon happening in November. I can't wait to tell you what the theme is. Hey, so this is going to be the final part of the wrap up of the Inkbunween vlog series. It's the 31st of October. I completed all of my books except for If We Were Villains by ML Rio, because that's a group book, and we decided that we were going to pick up on the next group of chapters Wednesday the 1st. So, taking that off my list, I not only completed all of the books that I had for that, but 5 additional books for the month of October, so I did pretty darn good. So the actual countdown: Man, Fuck This House, Curse of the Reaper, Some Shall Break, Midnight is the Darkest Hour, There's No Way I Die First, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, Suddenly a Murder, Hungry Ghost, Ideal Couple, Danger Point, Comfort Me with Apples, and Lore of Olympus Volume 3 makes 12 books for the month, which is pretty darn good, seeing as I was literally somewhere at least one day every weekend. So, yeah. The last book that we finished was Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. So I finished it. I got it on audio. I finished it. Not gonna lie, when I finished listening to it, I didn't really understand it. I was very confused, to be frank. Like, in my blurb, in my book journal, it literally just says, to be quite frank, I still don't understand what this book was about. Whether it was the power of greed corrupts absolutely, if it was about needing diversity and power so you didn't have a town full of blind slave mentality human beings, if it was about the power of storytelling on, like, the collective human psyche. I really don't know. And I've been thinking on it all day, and, like, I still honestly can't tell you. It had great elements, but as a whole, it didn't really do a lot for me. I gave it 3.5 carats, which I think is, like, the lowest any book has gotten this month. And Hungry Ghost are the lowest ratings for the entire month. So if that doesn't tell you, I don't know what will. But essentially, what I gathered was that you guys are going to follow a reverend's daughter. Her name is Ruth, and she makes friends with the devil's child, Everett, as they try to carve out a path of freedom from their oppressors as bodies begin to be discovered in the swamp. Essentially. Now, while you're getting all this, you're going to get a lot misogynistic church rhetoric, which was rough to hear. This audiobook was 12 hours, and it was so slow, y'all. I finished it in 8 hours. That's how fast I had to speed it up in order to keep going, because she was literally talking like this and no one has time for that. You know what I mean? Like, pick up the pace. Now, the Louisiana accent was super cool. I really liked the accent that the narrator had. And it wasn't mind blowing. Like, I don't feel the way I felt when I read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, but like, it wasn't awful. I just don't think it was for me. And Ruth got on my fucking nerves. She got on my nerves so fucking bad. After I finished that, I decided that I needed something a little bit lighter, and I got back on the Lore Olympus train, and I finished volume 3 while I was at work, and I almost finished volume 4 while I was at work. So that's my bookmark. Do you see where it is? Like, what's that, 20 pages? If that. Like, I was almost done. But I had to drive home, and you can't read while you drive. So I guess I had to like put it away or whatever. But I only have like 20 pages left of this. And then I have volume 5. So I'm probably going to start that tomorrow, since it's super easy. Like, I flew through volume 3 in like an hour. So finish volume 4, finish volume 5. I'll be ready for volume 6 when it's released. Nice page. Nice book to add to my list. Nice like chunk of pages. And you guys will hopefully see more of me. So I'm Gabs. This is the Ink Bunny. And I will see you next time. How about?